What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Let's Drive. Today we're dealing with the 2022 Mercedes SL63, the AMG. This is a gorgeous machine that's been nicely redesigned for the new generation. They only come in AMG versions now. You can get an SL55 or this, the SL63. Obviously, instead of 469 horsepower, we have 577 horsepower, so let's get in and move. Seatbelt on. All right, so nicely laid out steering wheel with two controls here. You can do exhaust, you can do the rear spoiler, and you can do the different drive modes. I already have it set to individual, but if you look over here, comfort, the different settings. Go to sport, it's the driveline, the suspension, and the AMG dynamics. There's a sport plus, which pushes it further. And then there's race mode, which is everything all the way up. But then you can even go, let me go back in there for a second, you can even go further, add this to master. And I don't know why you would do that, but there's a master mode, and I don't know if you have to like turn off traction control or whatever to unlock it. We're not going to do that. I like it individual, where the drivetrain is in race, the suspension in comfort because I'm old now, and then dynamics in pro. Just leave it like that and you're good to go. So 577 horsepower, like I said. You've got a parking camera right here with, you can look around the car, which is pretty great. Really see everything you need to see all the way around it. This does have a nose lift feature if you have a steep driveway, which is good to have in a vehicle like this. You're not scraping anything. If you want to operate the top, that's right over here on this touch bar. I think I have to get out of the camera first. Okay, so to use it, you don't, it really wants to shut off quickly. If you want to use this, you pull it to the side like that or like that. So then you hold it there when you want to do that function. This is to operate the head-up display. See here, you can raise the level of the nose. You can store it based on GPS position, which is pretty great. I don't want to do that though. And then, you have lane keep assist, active steering assist, all that good stuff. And then you can mess with like all the different interior lighting, exterior lighting, all that crazy. This is very much Mercedes-Benz top flight stuff that's in most of their vehicles now. But if you just go home, it changes with the season for a little holiday display, which is kind of funny. I had Apple CarPlay up earlier, which displays nice and big on this screen, but I disconnected that so I could pair the GoPro with my phone. But enough of that talk. Let's put this in drive and let's go. Get off the dirt road here. So the head-up display, I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but it looks really nice. It's easy to see and displays not just your speed and your rev range, but also the speed limit. And more importantly, what I like, it shows which gear you're in, even when the car's in fully automatic mode. So if you want to grab a paddle and go down, you know exactly where you're at. You know where you're going down to or up to. That's a really neat feature. The seats are supremely comfortable. They're supportive, they're sporty, yet they're still comfortable, which is really cool to see. Got a little bit of a semi-truck log jam happening here. But here we go, back out on the road. You're turning left, thanks for using your blinker. So, behind the wheel. Oh yeah. It makes great noise. There's some active exhaust action. When you let off the throttle, there's a little bit of burbling, but it's not too much. It doesn't overdo it. It sounds properly Benz, and by that I mean it's definitely there. You can definitely hear it. It gets louder when you get on it, but it is not overpowering the whole time you're driving the car. And that's what's wonderful about the SL. This generation marks the return of the SL to kind of this balance of sports car and grand tourer. It plays the role of both rather nicely. It's not a full sports car. It's definitely a luxurious grand tourer, but it's not, you know, like an overly cush Bentley or something like that. It skews the line really nicely. I think, you know, something like a 911 GTS convertible is obviously far more sporty. This is a bit more comfortable and a bit more luxurious, and has maybe even a bit more presence too. I like that the design has gotten a little bit more swoopy on the outside compared to the prior generation. And then I also like that it's just a better car to drive. That older SL was just so nose heavy and pushed anytime you gave it a little bit of extra oomph on a nice curvy road. This is totally up to the task of providing a really rewarding driving experience. The brakes are massive. This has optional carbon ceramics. So it not only is it quick, is it fast, it stops really well too, but the handling is nice. And even in this individual mode, like I said, I have the suspension comfort, so it's really comfortable. But when you have it into the higher performance modes, it's never punishing. It's not, you know, a track car, but there's excellent power there. We're dealing with almost 600 horsepower. There's a 9-speed gearbox backing this thing up, and that engine, by the way, is a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8. The gearbox is a 9-speed, and once you're out of first gear, it does a pretty darn good job. But initially, when you are leaving the line, sometimes there's like an odd sluggishness or just some weird, it almost feels like a poorly tuned dual clutch in first gear, where like you're giving it gas and then it goes, and then there's some odd clunkiness. The rest of the drivetrain is fine. When you use the paddles, they're very responsive, you know, down to third, up to fourth. A little bit of exhaust noise there on the back. Hold it down to put it back into drive. All the rest of it is great. The steering wheel feels really nice in your hands, this bit of leather right here. Now, one thing neat I thought with this screen, you see how it's canted at an angle like this. If you press this button, you can change the angle of the screen, which, I mean, I guess it depends on how you're sitting and where you want to view the screen, or maybe even the way the sun is hitting it with the top down. Maybe this works when the top down, it looks better this way. I'm not 100%, but I've pretty much left it like this the whole time I've been in the car. I don't have a need to change it based on my seating position. Plus, here in Southern California lately, it's been cold. I know the rest of you who are in colder climates are laughing and calling me a baby, and you're not wrong, but it's been too cold to use this top. Plus, I'm not really a convertible person anyway. However, as far as convertibles go, this has to be one of the best ones you can buy on the planet. Of course, it's not cheap, nor should you expect it to be. I mean, it's an AMG powered Mercedes SL. The SL55, which uses the same engine, just has less power, I believe 469 horse. Those start right around 140, so tons of money. These start closer to like 176,000, which is really expensive. And then this specific one, as tested, is, ooh, mama, $206,000. I mean, that's a lot of money. But this is a really, really, really nice car that you could hop in and put in a full day of driving and get out on the other side of that trip, and you still feel good, you still feel comfortable, you still feel rested. That's what a proper Grand Tourer / hybrid sports car can really do for you. Like I said, I think it looks better, it drives better, it's nicely powerful. There's tons of great tech and features on the inside. I wouldn't get yellow, but I like that they offer yellow, because more colors, a more colorful car palette in the world is a wonderful thing. So for that, I'm happy. I would find a different color, but at least the color is, you know, it's fun. It's not black, it's not silver, it's not white. It's colorful, and for that I appreciate it. But overall, it's been a great week with this car. It's a joy to drive. It looks fantastic sitting in my driveway. It just, you know, would be a good portion of the deposit on my house in order to afford one. Regardless, new SL, Mercedes really did a great job with this thing.